Hello. Today we're going to talk about the Land of Oz books by L. Frank Baum. The first, of course, being the famous Wonderful Wizard of Oz, but Baum wrote 13 more in his lifetime, with set in the world of Oz, with Dorothy and Tin Man, and a lot of original characters who don't appear in the first book as well. And then after his death, his family kept the series going. Now there have been well over 100 Oz books. With me to talk about them is Sadie Huizinga. Say hello, Sadie.
Hi.
Sadie is familiar with the Oz books because we have been reading them together. And I think she generally thinks they're pretty good. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us something about what you like about them.
I like how it's always sort of about, sort of fictional and always really fun to listen to.
Yeah, the Oz books are fairy tales in a very familiar sense because they were written a little later. They were mostly written around the year 1900 to 1920. They have a little more of a modern feel than most fairy tales, like more than Hans Christian Andersen or the Brothers Grimm or those guys. So there are cars, there are elements that are closer to our age. Even in Oz, things can sometimes feel a little more modern, and yet still be a pretty comprehensible fairyland. Oz is a pretty great place. Everyone there is very nice. Every now and then there's like a problem with like an evil wizard or the Gnome King from far away, but the people in Oz really get along pretty well and know how to solve their problems without getting into big, huge fights. I think that's one of the nicest things about the books, especially for kids.
Yeah, I also feel like that it's like the best world because it's like a whole different universe, a whole different world, but it's like the one I would want to live in because they're all like best friends, like they all know each other, or like mostly, and they're also fun. It's also fun to listen.
Yeah, Oz is usually ruled by a gentle monarch of some sort. In most of the books, it's a young queen named Ozma, who everyone loves and who cares about everyone and takes care of them. Most of the people in Oz, there isn't much of a government in Oz, and there isn't really a religion. People just sort of live together based on their needs, and they get along well and help each other when they need help.
I really think it's sort of funny if you just got swept into a tornado and then all of a sudden landed on the switch and you were like the queen because everybody thought you were so cool for just being able to smash somebody even though you didn't even know you did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd probably be sort of crazy because you don't really know.
Mm-hmm. Some of the later books have a lot of fun sequences with new characters like Santa Claus. We see more of Glinda the Good, who's in the first book a lot. Uh, there's a mechanical clockwork man named Tick Tock, and there's a lot of talking animals. There's also inanimate objects that have been brought to life by the powder of life, which sort of brings things that are normally not alive into existence. So there's a character who's a sawhorse who's brought to life and becomes like a regular horse that takes the other characters for rides. That one's pretty fun.
My favorite two characters are the wood horse and um, the Tin Woodman because he's all about love and enjoying your life and like what I really liked about the Wizard of Oz books is that there was all the first book for me. It always felt good because they already had the parts that they thought they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sort of funny because I don't know, it makes it really exciting when you just get to the end. You're like, wait, they already had all those.
Mm-hmm. And the magic in Oz is really fun and can be really really strange and weird. And the books are written in a way that's pretty easy to follow and to understand for young kids, so they can read it themselves if they like. There aren't like a lot of big words, and the stories pretty much make sense and go from like one fun kind of thing to another. Like at one point, they need to cross a desert where if you touch the sands of the desert, it can hurt you. So one of the characters, the Shaggy Man, calls his friend Johnny Do It, and Johnny Do It's like a fix-it guy who appears out of nowhere and can just make anything you want. So he appears, and Shaggy Man asks him to help him, and he makes them a magic sledge so they can like just sail across the desert like a ship on the ocean to get back to Oz. That's a pretty good time.
Yeah, I really love the books because they always have like something new. Like they'll have like an adventure, but then like it's weird because they'll like think, oh, the adventure's done, and it'll just happen. Like something will happen to them. Yeah, it's super fun.
So yeah, if you're looking for good fantasy stories for kids that are fun to read out loud and that have jokes and but where like everything works out and nothing really bad happens, the Oz books are really great, and they are old enough now that they are free to read online. You can find them online, and you can read them or listen to them as audiobooks, or you can get them at your library, and you can enjoy them for quite a while because there's so many of them. You want to say anything last words, Sadie?
Yeah, I feel like whenever I'm reading them, it's just super easy to go to bed, and yeah.
Yes, very good bedtime reading. So yeah, the Oz books of L. Frank Baum. Enjoy them. Do you have some last thing to say? Okay, enjoy them. Bye.